I guess it leads outside, but right now I have other priorities. Better leave the key here. I don't know if I'll want to avail myself of this service again tonight. I guess it's a good idea to ask for directions to the library. I wouldn't want to wander aimlessly through Bonetown. Excuse me, I need some information. Is there still a public library here in Bonetown?
Sure, boy. It's one of the crown jewels of Bonetown. At least it is according to what Margaret, our librarian, tells us. I'm simply reporting what's said because I personally never go to such places.
Strange, I would have bet the opposite. Could you tell me where it is?
Turn left at the main square, just outside the door. Boy, if you don't want to get lost, use this. It's an old Bonetown postcard, but it was used as a tourist map during the golden years. It could be of use to orient yourself and move around Bonetown.
Thank you.
Are you interested in something in particular?
Just to reminisce a little bit. My father used to take me there all the time. Thanks.
This and more for a paying customer.
I better be going now. I don't need copper. I'm just noticing now that all the gutters seem brand new. The innkeeper said the library is on the left, starting from the square. I better solve the clue left by my father first. It looks new. I don't want to take anything from here. It's still material in the public domain. At first glance, there seem to be different tomes, some of which have considerable value too. I wonder why they're out here. Wow, there are some extremely rare first editions here. Better not. It's like seeing my house. Even if I picked everything up, then it would suffer the same fate in our closet at home. It's one of those old message boards on which they hung the wanted posters. Here in Bonetown, time seems to have stopped. There are still posters of the gang that was raging here decades ago. The members have become famous. I recognize the posters of Rufy, Nami, and Zoro. The others are faded from exposure to bad weather. There's also a little footnote. Posters offered by the Lafitte Amusement Park. I don't need them. It's the front door of Bonetown's library. A well-stocked library, but it would be a lot of work to put it in order. I think it's the person running the library. Good morning.
Good morning. How can I help you?
What happened to Bonetown in the last few years?
The city has always held more allure at the expense of the small villages, and Bonetown is no exception. All the young people left when they had the chance, leaving the town in its current sorry state. It seems you know our town well, although you're so young. Can I ask your name?
Of course. I'm Willy Morgan.
I'm Margaret. Margaret Teach. But for those who attend the library, I'm just Margaret. Once there was a Morgan here in Bonetown too. Then he left, seeking fortune, and he became famous. But he never stopped coming back to visit Bonetown. I don't think you know him.
You mean Henry Morgan by any chance?
You surprise me, and that doesn't happen often.
The point is, I know him very well. Henry was my father.
I'm sorry, kid, I didn't know.
Don't worry, it's been a while.
10 years ago, right?
How do you know that?
Kid, I'm the librarian. I basically remember everything that is put on paper, and Henry used to come to our library a lot.
Do you know anything about his disappearance?
Unfortunately, only what I've read about. One night he was here in Bonetown. The morning after, it's like he vanished into thin air. Not a clue, not a trace. No letters or anything that could have guided the search parties to a solution.
Do you know what he was working on in his final research?
I don't know. He always read a lot, basically all the tomes you can find in here. And sometimes at his request, I had to order books from other cities as well.
Do you know if he had enemies, maybe?
Henry? Let's be serious. I think there were very few men as affable as him.
Thanks for the information.
Don't mention it. If I can be of any more help, just ask.
I need to consult one of your tomes.
It's always a pleasure when someone wants to benefit from the services offered by our library. What are you looking for?
Not Very Famous Pirate Songs by Threepwood.
Unfortunately, that's one of the most requested books. There's even a waiting list to consult it.
Grog and Other Delights.
It hasn't been available since 1998, when grog was declared a substance harmful to health, and the book was never reprinted again.
Grog, are you kidding?
It was a short-lived law, abolished immediately afterward to avoid a mass uprising.
Luckily,
Don't get me started. A cup of grog in the morning is like a panacea. But in case it happens again in the future, I have put aside a personal supply.
Properties of Concrete.
Oh, what a surprise! It's not among the more popular in Bonetown. I guess this is the second consultation in more than 10 years.
Doesn't it get the attention it deserves?
Here in Bonetown, people don't read a lot, especially a book like that. I could never have managed to face it either.
Where can I find it?
I guess it's somewhere on the upper floor. You should recognize it easily.
Thank you. I need to consult one of your tomes.
It's always a pleasure when someone wants to benefit from the services offered by our library. What are you looking for?
I don't recall the exact title.
I'm sorry, but without the title, I can't help you.
How come all across Bonetown the gutters seem to be new?
They are new. There's been some geological instability in the last few years. We don't know yet if it's due to natural causes or human activity. In any case, the result is that Bonetown no longer has a working water network, and the only way to retrieve some water at a decent cost seems to be this one.
Whose idea was this?
Maybe the only person who really cares about the state of Bonetown, our mayor, Steve Bonnet.
What can you tell me about Steve Bonnet?
He's the only one here doing something to keep Bonetown alive. Without him, our village would be much worse off. I suggest you go visit him. He knows everything about Bonetown. If you need something specific, he'll be able to help you for sure. These days, he lives in the town hall to deal with all the city's problems. But he's always available to everyone.
Thank you. I'll visit him as soon as possible. Can you repeat what you know about my father?
Henry had a natural gift with people, achieved success, loved reading, and he didn't have any enemies. At least here in Bonetown. Besides the fact that he disappeared 10 years ago, I wouldn't know what else to say.
Can you repeat what you...
Henry,
Thanks, and goodbye.
thank you for visiting the Bonetown Library. If you need a specific book, you can ask me, Miss Teach, or just Margaret.
Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. For such a small town, there are a lot of books. It's not my priority right now. I have no time to fix other people's things too. If in the future I have to conduct some new research, there are some tomes here that you can't easily find in other libraries. I'm not doing any research in particular right now. It seems to be a very old crate. This lock is peculiar to say the least. I'm pretty sure that I'd need a special key if I wanted to open it. It's the famous book Properties of Concrete, the last book read by my father. It's stuck under the huge number of books on the desk. I must find a way to free it. On this desk, there are books of every kind, from how to build a cuckoo clock to anchovy fishing for newbies. How? Should I remove everything on top of it? There's no time. And above all, I wouldn't know where to put all these books. They're barrels filled with water. I don't think that dragging this barrel of over 100 liters would benefit me a lot. It looks like it was installed recently. I understand that copper has become precious, but I don't think it'd go unnoticed. If I had to guess, there are more than 100 chicken dishes. I may be wrong, but I think the owner specializes in cooking chicken every possible way. I don't see how the complete menu of the One-Eyed Jack would help me. Menu of the day: chicken, or chicken and salad, or chicken, salad, and cheese. While for drinks, there's only grog. I don't need it. I don't think there are any books here. Even if it's battered, I think I can make out the word restaurant. It's not time to enter there yet. I need to use the clue left by my dad first. It's one of the most modern objects I've seen in Bonetown so far. I don't know how, but I hope it might come in handy. It seems like the propeller of an old vessel. There's also some writing. Flying Dutchman. I don't think it's that Flying Dutchman. At first glance, it appears to weigh over 100 kilos. Surely working out in the gym made me stronger, but I don't think it performed any miracles. I don't think it's useful like this. I don't think fixing my nails would improve the outcome of my visit to Bonetown. It's the sign for a museum. I don't know what interesting stuff there is to see. It's not specified on the sign. I can't see the opening time either. Dark alley, ambiguous sign, no opening time for the public, and an old open door. I like it. I can't reach it. There's a sign with the word museum, which rules out the possibility that it's a library. I'll go back there later. Now I have to find a way to obtain the volume Properties of Concrete from the library. I don't think I should use it on the book. Let's try. It worked! Check out what we have here. Interesting. There's a hiding place inside the book. I understand why Dad chose this tome. It's the only one in the whole library that nobody would read, but also the only one thick enough to contain something. Let's see what it is. It's another letter from my father. It's dated July 22nd, 2008, earlier than the other one. There's also a piece of paper that seems more ancient, but I can't figure out what it is. Better take a look right now. If Dad did all this so that I'd find it, there must be something important. Now I understand what the piece of paper was that I found with the letter. Dad always performed great feats, but I never imagined he was looking for kids' treasure. It has always been said that it was basically a legend. I don't remember the complete story exactly, but maybe the librarian can help me. And I have a list of names. Better start asking information of the townsfolk without attracting too much attention. I don't need my father's old library card anymore. Even if someone found it, it would be useless. I have the letter and the piece of map belonging to my dad. It doesn't work. A peculiar key is needed, or something that could force this lock. It seems to be... Do you by any chance know the story of Captain William Kidd?
Sure, it is mostly a legend. In the golden era of piracy, Kidd stood out for his endeavors, if you could call them that.
The endeavors of a pirate aren't exactly heroic most of the time.
Anyway, his ship, the Adventure Galley, was supposedly filled with treasures when it suddenly disappeared. A few years later, in 1701, Kidd was captured and executed, but his ship and the crew were never found.
What do you think happened?
What always happened at that time? Kidd and his crew squandered all the loot, and to cover their tracks, they sold or even burned the ship. After this story, Kidd became legendary.
Thank you. What's that old crate upstairs?
It belonged to Charles Teach, a great-great-grandfather of mine. Many years ago, we opened it with the help of a locksmith, but it was empty. Then the key got lost again, and nobody has any interest in it anymore. Maybe the locksmith has a copy of it somewhere. I never feel like throwing it away. It's still a family heirloom after all.
Am I wrong, or did you tell me your name is Margaret Teach?
That's correct.
Do you know a man named Charles Teach?
Your question surprises me. How do you know my great-great-grandfather?
I'm doing some research on the genealogy of Bonetown, and I stumbled upon the Teach family.
Yes, it's been several generations now since the Teaches settled in Bonetown.
What can you tell me about Charles Teach in particular?
He was the one who brought the name Teach here to Bonetown, but of his past, little is known. My great-grandma told me that he was a former fisherman with a knack for books. This library is a donation he made to the city of Bonetown just before he died. After he arrived here in Bonetown, he devoted himself exclusively to reading, and many of these books were bought directly by him. He had so many of them that he basically founded the town library, which then became the family business for the following generations, too.
And he didn't leave anything else apart from the books?
All he left is stored on the upper floor, but it's mostly junk. The real treasure was his books. There's also an old crate without a key, but it looks empty.
Thanks, and goodbye.
Thank you for visiting the Bonetown Library. If you need a specific book, you can ask me, Miss Teach, or just Margaret.
Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. It's a desk full of books, with a jack lifting it. There's no need to move the books anymore. The jack helped me access the volume I was interested in. Very strange. I have the feeling I'm being watched. Better be careful. You never know what can happen in Bonetown. I think it's the restaurant manager. Good morning.
Good morning, and welcome to the One-Eyed Jack of the Bellamy family.
I glimpsed the menu outside the club. What's your specialty?
Chicken, kid. Delicious, free-range chicken.
Only chicken?
Absolutely, kid. Chicken is our main ingredient. Healthy, genuine, and it's not fattening, so you can eat as much as you want. We Bellamys have invented more than 100 recipes to serve it with.
A diverse menu, then. How's business going?
Money is not important to the Bellamys. Our forefather, Eddie Bellamy, left us a little nest egg to pursue our family mission.
And what would that be?
Find the chosen one.
Are you a great-grandson of Eddie Bellamy?
Absolutely, kid. My great-great-great-great-grandfather was the best cook of the 7 seas. He was the one who founded the first One-Eyed Jack. And since then, we've come a long way.
Do you mean that you've expanded all over the world?
Absolutely not. Bonetown has always been the one and only place where you can taste one of our delicacies.
Do you mean that you've introduced new original recipes?
Oh, absolutely not. Nobody can improve Grandfather Eddie's recipes. A distant cousin tried to do that, starting his own company, the Mix something. But I haven't heard about it since, so I don't think he had our luck.
Surely not your luck, yeah. I don't get it, but it's okay anyway. What do you mean by chosen one?
The family legend says that Eddie Bellamy, progenitor of the Bellamys, learned every recipe on how to cook chicken. But his efforts in the kitchen seemed not to be appreciated by customers, who considered his recipes mere common chicken, bumpkins. So he created the only meal that was not chicken-based, the Bellamy cookie. The patrons seemed to be thrilled by the extraordinary innovation. But Eddie, given the indifference his cooking received before that, imposed one condition. Only the chosen one could taste the cookie from the Bellamy recipe. And since then, from generation to generation, the search has kept going.
Which cookie are we talking about?
The sacred cookie, contained in that glass case, built to keep its fragrance intact.
How long has it been in that case?
Since the day it was baked by Eddie Bellamy. And according to legend, it seems Eddie found a recipe for a pastry that could last for centuries without losing its fragrance.
Do you mean that in all these years, nobody was able to earn the right?
Absolutely not. That is the original cookie. Never has another one been baked.
How can you recognize the chosen one?
That'll be the only one who can pass the test.
What test?
The menu, kid. The menu. Only the worthy will listen to the entire menu without blinking an eye. And at that point, he'll have earned the cookie, along with honor and fame.
Very epic. Where does the test take place?
At the table. When you feel ready, take your seat, and we'll see if you might be the chosen one. But don't get your hopes up. We're extremely selective.
I've seen that all through Bonetown there are new gutters.
Yes. The mayor decided to invest the city's money that way. It's not a bad idea. By channeling the rainwater, the city will ensure some drinkable water.
The mayor?
Yes, Steve Bonnet. He's the man who's been taking care of the city for countless years. Luckily, he's in charge, or Bonetown would already be a ghost city.
Thanks, and goodbye.
Thanks to you, and enjoy your stay in Bonetown.
It's a very strong lock. I don't think it can be opened so easily. I need the key. It's a glass case equipped with a lock. It seems there is a sort of fortune cookie inside it. I can't open this case without the right key. The lock seems to be tamper-proof. It's a table.
I see you want to prove yourself. When you're ready, call me. I'll be right there.
I feel ready.
Very well, I'm coming. Let's begin the test. We'll soon know if you're the chosen one or just another common person. Our menu includes mushroom chicken, algae chicken, egg chicken, spicy chicken, sweet corn chicken, pepper chicken, olive chicken, chicken and vinegar, blah blah, chicken, blah blah blah, free range, blah 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 blah, herb crusted, blah blah blah. Kid, hey kid, the test is over. I'm sorry. I thought you were different from the others. For now, you're not the chosen one.
And yet I was sure I'd be the one. If I had to guess, there are more than 100 chicken dishes. I may be wrong, but I think the owner specializes in cooking chicken every possible way. I don't see how the complete menu of the One-Eyed Jack would help me. One-Eyed Jack Restaurant. The name is catchy, the sign much less so. I don't know what's worse, the chicken wings used as bones at the sides of the skull, or the general state of the sign. Everything here is going to the dogs. I wonder what happened to the city. It wasn't always like this. It's a piece of the map belonging to Captain Kidd, but I can't do anything with it if I don't find all the other 8 pieces as well. It's a book on Tom Rayleigh, prominent artist of Bonetown. It's a book on Tom Rayleigh. Prisons, the story of Tom Rayleigh. Maybe it wasn't the publishing success the author hoped. Free. It looks like there was a race to the bottom for this volume. I don't think it would come in handy. I have no time for this kind of reading right now. There's something written. Free. Maybe it will come in handy.
Go ahead and take it. It will open both your heart and your mind. Some stickers to support Tom Rayleigh's cause are included as well. We also need your help to make this artist known.
Thanks. Prisons, the story of Tom Rayleigh. Now I know why this book is free. It seems more like a series of rambling stories instead of a serious biography. Maybe there's just one bit of plausible information. Here it says that Tom Rayleigh's past is dark. He was repeatedly put in prison in Bonetown for being drunk and disorderly. The stickers are nice, but the book is useless to me. I'd rather put this book back in its place. Probably someone else will find it more interesting. I'd say it's scary.
It's my handiwork. It seemed to me that the subject respected all the classical canons.
Maybe they're not the same canons I studied at school. I already have a memory that may never be erased from my mind. I don't think I'll need that too.
It's one of the few pieces left by Tom Rayleigh. Ancient sources said that he was a prodigy in cartography drawing, but everything has been lost.
I understand. It's part of the museum exhibition. Better leave it where it is. There's something written on it. For the heirs of Tom Rayleigh.
What do you think you're doing? Have you seen what is written on the envelope? It's the property of Tom Rayleigh's heirs.
But I'm one of his great-grandsons.
I'm a researcher, as well as a capable artist. Bring me concrete proof and you can have the envelope. Until then, the envelope will remain museum property.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can I do something for you? I am very busy and I'd hate to lose time.
Are you the museum janitor?
No. I'm the curator, as well as the only artist in Bonetown.
Remarkable. Busy doing what?
I don't think you'd understand. You don't look like you have an open mind like us artists.
Come on, share it with me.
No.
Please, I'm very curious.
No.
Okay, I don't think it was that important anyway.
Not important? Are you kidding me? My research is, of vital importance for Bonetown and its history.
Research for peace of mind?
Funny.
Finding himself?
No.
What kind of research?
I'm trying to clear the name of one of the most controversial figures of Bonetown.
Who are we talking about?
Tom Rayleigh. He spent almost his whole life in here.
Was he a researcher too?
No. This was a prison once. They say that Rayleigh, because of his alcohol problems, spent most of his sober time in here.
In every town there's a drunkard.
No. Tom wasn't a drunkard. His artistic life was very troubled. My research proved that.
Have you already done other research on Rayleigh?
Yes. You can find everything about it in the book I wrote on Rayleigh. You can take a copy if you like.
Already done. Very illuminating.
Really? What passage impressed you most?
Practically everything about Tom?
You're already calling Tom. I transmitted empathy, so I've done a good job with the book.
Just what I meant. How come you're so obsessed with Tom Rayleigh?
It's not that I'm obsessed. Tom Rayleigh was an artist, just like me. Some of the objects in here are his works. But, as with all misunderstood geniuses, he had a devil inside. Some people claim that, in the midst of a drunken stupor, he could produce his best works. But once he was sober, he destroyed those works because he deemed them not to have been done by him. And I, being a misunderstood genius myself, now want to clear his image.
If you say so. And how do you think you can do that?
I'm trying to recover all the works left by the master. And in the meantime, I'm tracing Rayleigh's great-grandsons by delivering the only thing he left here in Bone Town.
His dignity?
No.
Money?
An artist with money? I don't think that's possible.
A toothbrush?
Don't joke about that. We artists are not interested in personal care.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm talking about that envelope.
What are the contents of the envelope?
I don't know. It's an official document classified by the police and kept here in the museum. It says for Rayleigh's heirs. I can't open it. It would go against my artist's code of ethics.
And probably against some laws as well.
Yes. I'm looking for Rayleigh's heirs to deliver it. So I might know what happened to Rayleigh once he left Bone Town, too.
Can you repeat what you know about Rayleigh?
Well, you can find all the info in the... But summing up, Rayleigh was an artist, even if he had alcohol problems. He could draw as very few could, but he's wrongly known only for his reputation as a drunkard. And I want to clear his name by preparing an exhibition for his works.
Goodbye.
Yes. Goodbye. It's one of the few ancient...
I understand.